Alright guys, this video is going to be a little weird because this is going to be an overview of my gameplay. For some reason I went on vacation. Like I said, my brain fell out. I still had part 12 audio, video footage, and like the file for where I make my videos. And I was like, oh, I already did it, already uploaded because I released a video when I was on vacation. I scheduled it, and then I realized it was part 11. So part 12 is an overview. Part 13, which I just did, will come out later, is the typical standard live stuff. So I'm going to kind of skip around this video, try to keep it about 15 minutes, I think. We'll talk about what we did in the town. We'll talk about what the fights I took and the flesh itself. But at least I won't be doing it live, so I can kind of talk about the general idea of stuff as you can watch the gameplay. This is week 17, so I think we just finished 18 or 19. It's 17, we're 18, then I finished 19. We have like a week or two left, can't remember what. This is 17. Part 13 is week 18. Week 19 is going to be the Siren. Week 20 will be just a random dungeon for hopefully a really good trinket. Or a medium dungeon for an event. So when we do the Warrens, I really like to do at least one middle room first to try to get a double scout. That is usually your best chance to discover a secret room. If I don't get it in the first middle room, I will do this around the edges as you see. Because I kind of want to get the scouts along the edges. And if I can't get the scout along the edges, if I still get one in the middle room, it kind of makes up for it. So I kind of like to do a one in the middle and then like an outside perimeter approach. And as you can see, not scouting, I've walked into, what, 2 traps now? It's really brutal. This is why you want to scout. I've only gotten 1 scouting trinket this whole video. If I recall correctly, I don't think I've even discovered any other Shambler altars except the one to get the, oh, whatever it is. The one the Plague Doctor has right now that increases your, virtue and death blow chance. Which, it's not bad, it's just free stats. There's no negatives to it, but, you know, you would prefer the Ancestor's Candle. And the map, obviously, which we didn't get either, but that's fine. It's a 2 out of 7 chance, I want to say. So in this particular party, we don't have the most conventional heals, but we actually have a lot of heals. We have Adrenaline Rush, Lick Wounds, Battlefield Medicine, and then obviously Redeem and Reclaim. So we have a lot of heals, just, I don't want to say not traditional, but it's not like a Vestal heal or like a battle heal. They're all very either self, get rid of status effects, or they're obviously over time. Redeem being the closest to our traditional, but you always also have to be below a certain amount of HP to do that. Then our stress heal, as you just saw, is only Cry Havoc. Not Cry, yeah, it's Cry Havoc, I believe. So with all that being said, and I kind of make an error there because this guy ticks out and I can't resolve that or heal anymore. So looking back on it now, I could have gone for a very fortunate Barbaric Yop. It's not wrong to finish a fight sooner than not. And here we see if I get a double scout. I don't, but at least we get a scout. We see another trap, which is pretty good. But yeah, I took a lot of blights for just this rather quick, but it's only 1 point at this level. And 90% is probably my best, yeah. So, I like having at least one usually naturally good trap disarmor. Trap disarm chances increase with resolve level. It's one of those few things, resistances and trap disarm chance are related to resolve level. So, and then obviously certain heroes also have it based. Trap disarm with the Grave Robber, I believe, having the highest default trap disarm chance. I think the Bounty Hunter's up there, Highwayman's up there. I don't think the Shield Breaker is. I think the Houndmaster's also up there. There's a couple of people with really high natural trap disarms. I'm trying to think of someone who's really bad at it. The Flage isn't great, the Hellion's not great. Pretty much I think everyone except for the Houndmaster in this party are pretty bad with trap disarm. So, but we have the Houndmaster, so it doesn't matter. But it is that little thing to know that not everyone has the same trap disarm chance. Therefore, some people you may want to put a certain trap disarm chance on if you want them to receive the -8 stress, if you care about it. So, But yeah, so I really like the Warrens for the reason that almost every boss is very easy to get to. I forget what the Plague Doctor has that does Unholy. It's the Paranoia. Yeah, the Paranoia. Perennia, whatever it's called. Whatever. So yeah, Plague Doctor has something that could interact. It is what it is. The fights are going pretty well, all things considered. We're taking care of... I got very fortunate with that critical, so I could bring everyone forward if the Hellion needed to hit, which... I guess if I got to go before, I probably would have, because I don't want to take this X amount of stress I'm about to get. It's 13. Obviously, I would have just preferred to done with the Hellion. That's probably a stun and move, if I remember, yeah. At this rate, I probably do Barbaric Yawp. Kind of surprising I didn't Barbaric Yawp on the reason 21 HP isn't terribly like a large HP pool for at this point in the game. And especially if I was going to do all attacks into it. So looking back, without live gameplay, I guess I do it now, and it's the same result. I could have done Wicked Slice, where I could have Adrenaline Rush. So at the end of the day, since I outsped the guy, it didn't really matter. But looking back on it now, I'm not really sure why I didn't opt in for a... what's the word? For a Barbaric Yawp the first time. I did have Fortifying Garlic on the Flage. I believe I heal it off because it is 12 damage. Yeah, and I had all the bandages. It's just a lot of damage to take. I would have gone down to 7 because I'm walking into a room fight, I believe. Obviously the Flage is made to be at lower HPs, but you never know who you're gonna walk into. It could have. It's just one of those things where it's like, do I really want to try it for a redeem, or do I just want to naturally go down there at the end of all their terms and then redeem, rather that be my opening? Especially since no one's really hurt that bad. It's not in a Sanguinate. No one likes it. No one was too terribly hurt, so... Because they have point blank. Now it's a dodge, but that could have easily knocked me to death's door, and then I have to deal with that stress, the potential. If both of those guys didn't die in the back, I could have maybe gotten a death's door chance. You know, like, to me, it didn't really seem at all worth taking that 12 tick. Now, I think where I was at, I only would have ticked once, but still. I don't really like keeping the Flage low. Obviously, there are strats where you can do that, but I prefer to have it as a last priority rather than something where we are going to actively work for it. So this time, we don't have a shield breaker. Probably going to get rid of the Holy Waters, right? No, because the boss does Blight. I either get rid of the Anti-Venoms or the Holy Waters. I should probably get rid of the Holy Waters, if I remember correctly, because I can always heal. I'd be surprised if we get rid of the Shovels, because I didn't scout yet, did I? But I might get rid of the Shovels. That makes sense if I want the Crest. Yeah, I guess that's not a bad move looking back on it, because I believe I already scouted everything. I don't really add... I do remove a disease on somebody. I believe someone's diseased. Rabies, yeah. So I just wanted to get the accuracy back. Hellion already hits pretty dang hard. And now I remember why I got rid of the Shovels. Because if I ever walked into a Shovel Curio, I knew the very bottom didn't have any Shovel Curios. So I could have obviously have just walked backwards. It would have been not optimal. But at least I keep the Holy Waters and the Anti-Venoms. And I know I have a direct path to the boss. So actually it's a pretty smart move to get rid of the Shovels. And I don't think there's really any active Shovel Curios in the Warrens. So actually getting rid of the Shovels, it does kill the rest of my dungeon, I won't lie. But in the meanwhile, it does at least allow me to get to the boss without really sacrificing useful items for the boss itself. So completing the dungeon is always the first goal. Extra exploring afterwards. You never know how many provisions you're going to have, how many torches you're going to have, how beat up your party is. So assuming you'll be able to go through the rest of the dungeon unfazed is actually not, it's not realistic. I do just try to go for the the double tap, which I got some stress removed. I could have argued here, I actually could have turned off the torch, right? Yeah, I probably should have turned off the torch. We get a lucky double scout, so I pop in here. Let's see what I get rid of. I probably get rid of the Holy Waters now, right? I'm looking. We're also going to use the key. I slowly drag it this time. So whose head do I get? That's a damage head, right? Now here I think I make a mistake. I think I get rid of 2 items, though I could have put it on the Hellion. Do I put it on the Hellion? Let's see. I should put this on the Hellion. By the judging of what I'm doing, I am not making good decisions right now. That trinket should go on a hero. If I delete another item, that's a mistake. Don't do it. Don't do it. I made a mistake. I think I didn't want to stress we're minus HP because the flesh can hit so hard, and it's also a protection-based boss, so that's probably why I didn't want to put it on. Yeah, so the Hellion already... So she had to minus... You know what? Looking back on it, no, it's the right move. I couldn't quite remember which trinkets I had on which people. But now, coming back and observing again, I should just decline all of this. Okay, I go max greed. It's very interesting to see me come back in the past. Me watching it from this view, I'm actually going more conservative, actually. But at this point, I probably think, you know, it's Apprentice. I do at least have anti-venoms, so if I do get an anti-venom, I could. I do obviously run into that one Shovel Curios, so now I have to do the exact thing I said I would have to do. I have to make the whole entire backtrack, which is annoying. It does require one more fight, but it is just a hallway fight. Worst news is it could have been a collector. It's not, obviously, but so yeah, so there's a few of my choices that I made that, you know, like, they don't ruin things, but, you know, they're here. I don't get rid of the food because I'm not sure, A, how much more I want to explore, and B, I don't think I could have gotten a food check that fast, but it would have been really silly to get it right at the end here. And I believe because it was the 3rd space fight as well, I couldn't actually have even gotten a food check because you can't have a fight and a food check exist on the same tile in a dungeon. So really, I could have gotten rid of the food. Turn off the torch here so I can use all my remaining torches to free up loot room, which I obviously needed. So at least we properly optimized there. I should eat this food. I put on Sanguinate over. I think I just did Redeem because I want to do damage because everyone else should be able to take care of themselves pretty well. So I should just max heal up. Yeah. Alright, so we're pretty much ready. I mean, this fight's real easy. We saved the dog bones. I didn't want to get rid of them the whole time. The first mutation's very nice. What you want to see on your first mutation when you're fighting the flesh is as many hearts as possible, because they will outpace you. The hearts are just faster than you, and they're also going to heal a full body. So getting triple heart as the very first phase is actually ideal. Only getting 4 hearts is actually the best. All 4 hearts for the first phase is just chef's kiss, because they also are obviously the weakest, no protection. They have the lowest status resistances, so I do take this opportunity to blight, or try to, because like I said, they do have the lowest resistances. You could have argued maybe for a stun, but I really just wanted to get the damage in there, because like I said, their stuns aren't good, and I believe I barbaric you off the front row here. The Hellion could have maybe gotten a juicy 21 critical, but the odds of these turning into beast heads for Mauls of Life are high. As you can see, we get one there. And I forget what the other one's called, like a Zephyr thing, whatever. So only 1 heart, so we'll probably Plague Doctors double stun the back row now. With the flesh, I really like the Plague Doctor and usually the Hellion. Because okay, I go max damage. It is Apprentice, so I probably just want to go through it. But for the flesh, I really like alternating back row stun, front row stun, back row stun. Only having 2 parts of the flesh where 3 parts of the flesh go is ideal. You really don't want all 4 firing. If you can keep half the flesh occupied and then the pieces that are stunned, you want damage dealing parts to be stunned and you want hearts to go. Even though they can crit heal, their heals will never outpace your DOT over time. So you want things that aren't stunned to be the hearts, as you see here, and you want the actual damage pieces to be stunned right in the middle here. Because, like I said, the hearts will never outpace the level of DOT you're going to add if you have a Houndmaster. Like 21 right there. I think the hearts healed for 15. And that's why you want to make sure the damage dealers are stunned. I don't even think I'd go for a double stun here. I do, okay. I probably do that because the one piece has negative 20, has 21 DOT on it. So if it goes first next turn, it's over. I obviously pop off another 6. I don't think anything has to go. I should just Wicked. Do I just go for all? Okay, I go for all stuns just to wrap this fight up. Only one piece can go next turn, but I think Alright, the one piece that didn't get stunned could go this turn. These guys stun. Like I said, this is, yeah, right there is a perfect example. This is why you want damage dealing pieces to be stunned. One, and right there the 22 does go. So, pretty much worked out as we just talked about it. So, the flesh isn't terrible. You just have to keep the damage. You have to keep anti-venoms around, preferably holy waters if possible. But yeah, I don't think I go anywhere else. So let's just go to the hamlet. Well, let's check out what we got here. I don't think I do a lot of maintenance in the hamlet. So about 20,000 gold. I'm gonna sell the wounding helmets. It's like 23,000, 20 crests, 4s across the board. Really good dungeon. Okay, we are back in town. We have a bunch of resolve 3s. We got an event where the Arbalist is going to gain a level if idle. I'm not going to walk into a veteran dungeon just to avoid getting the resolve level. And she also has everything removed off her, and I'm not going to pay 10 grand to lock in a positive quirk. Because I could have thrown her in a stress facility, and technically she would avoid gaining a resolve level. But I'm really not a huge fan of the Arbalist anyway, so getting her to resolve 4 actually isn't a nightmare. But you have to be careful on how fast you upgrade your people, because you kind of want them all to come at the same, like you want them all to upgrade at the same time. As you can see, I have a bunch of resolve 0s still, some 1s, and a lot of 2s on the edge of 3. After 20 weeks, your results will differ because I've kept my people very fast, but I've also played the game a lot, so my people are fairly well off. At your 20 weeks, you may not even have resolve 3s. You might still be cycling through 1s and 2s, just trying to get through the bosses, because some of the bosses are probably killing you. Some of the dungeons are just still stressing your people out, and you're learning the game. With how much I've played the game, the odds of me losing someone in the dungeon are relatively small, and the odds of me having people so stressed I don't want to keep them after, like, what, week 5 or 10? Rather minimal. So I have a rather tight group of people leveling fast, and if you were to watch me play another 20 weeks, what it would be is bringing up the resolve 0s now, doing the dungeons to get the next round of bosses, then those resolve 1s and 2s would ideally do all that, and by the time I kill all the first level bosses, all 8 of them, I'd preferably have almost the max roster size with minimal people at resolve 2. Most of my people would all be sitting at a low base of 3, getting ready to obviously go into your first veteran. So, like I said, if we were to really go out another 20 weeks, you would see me take all these people, and I start taking the quirks off the negatives, the resolve 0s now, because I'm going to be doing a boss, which means I'll be taking anywhere between resolves 1 and resolves 2. So obviously taking the people when their negative quirks are super cheap to remove, rather than when they start hitting resolves 2 and 3, because then their quirk prices jump significantly, and they may lock in at that rate, which would then obviously like quadruple the price. So if you have quirks you don't like on resolve 0s and you're not taking them out that week, remove the negative quirks. Thank you for watching. There's not much more to say. We're going to go into the Necromancer next video. Yeah, the Necromancer next video, and we'll take care of them. Sorry for the not live version, but for some reason my brain just didn't work. Thanks for watching.